Going on, guys? Back here on the balcony. This is the spot for videos. I'm loving the scenery and loving the lighting. But I just came back in from a drive, and something came into my head while I was driving. So I'm at a stoplight. What I want to talk about is goals. I want to talk about being dedicated. I want to talk about having tunnel vision. I want to talk about not being distracted. Like really just going all in. And what came to that thought process that I'm having right now is the fact that when I was driving, so I was at a stoplight, and while I was at the stoplight, I saw a homeless guy. Well, I believe he's homeless. Could be poor. One of the two. Homeless or poor. I know it got to be like politically correct, but I'm not really concerned about that right now. Just concerned about this message. So, anywho, I'm at a stoplight and I see this homeless guy, and from car to car, he just kept going, knocking on windows, asking for money, and that right there shows you discipline. That shows you dedication. That shows you not caring about how you look, not caring about hearing no. You're committed to your goal. Like his goal is to get the exchange from your money to his pockets, and that's what he was doing. He didn't care how many windows he had to knock on. He didn't care how he looked out there. He didn't care what he was wearing. All he cared about was his mission. And I feel like for you to really excel, you gotta be as dedicated as that homeless man is. You gotta not care what people think about you, because there are gonna be people who laugh at you. There's gonna be people who clown you, all that stuff. But you gotta be so dedicated to your mission that you don't give a fuck about anyone. You don't care about anyone thinks, what anyone says. You know what you're after. You know your target. You know your goal, and you gotta stay committed and go and get that goal. And you'll realize that those who really strive and those who have like statues built from them, you don't ever hear stories of like people who aren't like that. They're not weird. Like you don't ever hear stories of people who create a statue of them that they weren't labeled weird, they weren't labeled crazy. And I personally feel that like what separates those who are really like great and those who are just average is their commitment to staying consistent, their commitment to not caring about what people think about them. And one example is the fact that there's always that one person, because we all have greatness within us, but there's always that one person who jumps out the window and everyone laughing at him. Oh, look at him jumping out the window. He think he this, he think he that. Well, she thinks this, she think he that. So they don't like being clowned on. So what they'll do is they'll stop their dreams. They stop dedicating themselves to, going for their mission. And what they'll do is they'll go back inside. They go back, climb through the window again because they don't want to be laughed at. So now they climb back in the window, and they're going back to their average lives where they're normal around those people, so they won't be laughed at, they won't be clowned on. But then what happens? Years go by, decades go by, and they say to themselves, damn, I wish I would have, when I jumped out that window, I wish I would never cared what people thought about me. I wish I would have kept going. And you don't want to live that way. You don't want to live a lifestyle and when you're regretting about doing certain decisions that you should have made to increase your life for the better. You don't want to live that way. What you want to do is you want to just live a lifestyle where you look back and say, yo, we went all in. We accomplished this. We got these statues written about us or created on us. That's the life you want to live. So again, I'm saying this, I'm sharing this so you guys can actually put that in your head. Live a life of enjoyment. Live a life and not caring about what people think about you. Live a life that you are going to excel, and live a life when people are going to remember you. At the end of the day, we all have this one life to live. And after this life, if you believe in an afterlife, if you don't, but at the end of the day, it's afterlife. It's not after on earth. It's not on earth. So you got to live this one life on earth. How will you be remembered? Will people remember you as, hey, that's that guy's tombstone. He was great. He had this memory, that memory, but that's it. Or will they remember you like, yo, we're talking about him across the seas. We're talking about him different, or her, different continents. We're talking about them decades from now, centuries from now. That's how you want to be remembered. And that's what I'm doing. I'm striving to be remembered centuries from now. Not I'm remembered days from now, or when, friends are drinking around and thinking about this. I'm not doing that. And I hope you guys are striving to do that as well. Don't live a life of being so simple. Go out there, don't care about people thinking about you, and go get the job done, guys. You got it in you. Get it done.